God. Ask Scott.
Hey Scott, my name's Alex. I've spoken with you a couple of times through email. I just want to say thanks very much for putting on this podcast. I listen to it every day to the office and back from the office, and every chance I get while driving in my car. I've been doing private label FBA for about 6 months now. It's going very well. We're in the process of designing products number 2 and 3. And I've built a couple of tools that I use to analyze my sponsored ads campaigns, and in the process of designing a couple of other tools to help me with my business as well. My question for you today is, how do you analyze the trends on your particular product and the trends in your market or in your niche? So what I'm looking for is if your particular product is trending up or trending down in terms of its discoverability and buyability, what factors you looked for on your reports, and then if you determine that you are trending down, what do you do about it? Thanks, Scott. Keep up the great work.
Hey, Alex, thanks for the question and congratulations on the success that you've had so far. I think that's great. It sounds like you're a software developer too, so congrats on that. Yeah, and the one thing that you touched on, which I'm really looking to, hopefully have a solution to this, and maybe you do have one or someone listening does, but to be able to have some type of third-party software connect to your pay-per-click and then be able to show your daily, stuff that's working more organized rather than just the Seller Central look. I just find it, and a lot of people that I know find it just very, I guess, clunky. It doesn't give you a lot of data points. It doesn't give you any of that stuff. So if you do have something like that, please share it with me. And if it's ready for release, maybe we can do a beta group, whatever. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here, but I'm definitely interested in that because I think that would be very helpful for those of us that are really in tune with the pay-per-click and really want to expand and grow that because we know how powerful it is. But to answer your question about trends and trending, I mean, I'm really simple with that. I use 2 different tools to look at that. And in the beginning, I look at these 2 tools and I also go back to it, but a little common sense needs to tell you if you feel like something is a trend, like a trend that's going to be like Garcinia Cambogia, where it's like, something that's going to hit because Dr. Oz mentioned it, and then all of a sudden it's going to kind of trickle out. Yeah, you can capitalize on that for the time being, but then it's not a long-term play. So what I usually do is I use like camel.com. And I use that because it shows me like if something has been selling for a long period of time. I like to see a product that's been selling longer than a year because then that gives me the 12 months worth of data. It shows me if there's been ups and downs because I look at the BSR. And again, the BSR can be manipulated by running promotions, but I take that in consideration. But that's one tool that I would look at a glance to kind of give you an overview. The second thing is just Google Trends. I look at that pretty much before I even pick a product, and I want to make sure that it's not a seasonal item. I just don't want a seasonal item that's going to be like winter gloves, right? And it's going to be good for 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden it's going to die out. Now, if there's a trend that has an upward, lift, and then all of a sudden it comes back down to normal, I'm okay with that. And I've talked about that before because that's almost like getting a little boost for your year in sales. But if you're still like, for example, if you can find a product that's doing 10 sales or 15 sales a day religiously, right, automatically on autopilot, and then you find that there's like 3 months out of the year that it spikes and goes up to 30, 40 because it's more popular that time, but then when it comes back down, it's still going to maintain the 10 or 15 sales a day. I would definitely look at that as being a viable product. But from what you're asking, I believe, is there any way that I look at trends, even with current products, to see maybe why they're tailing up or why they're tailing down? And there really isn't. I kind of do that beforehand. And I also kind of look at my own gut feeling and I say, do I think this is something that's a fad? Is this something that's going to be here and gone tomorrow or in the next 12 months? And then I look at the Google Trends, and I think that stuff right there alone is enough to really give you that. And moving forward, yes, there's going to be some products that might fizzle out a little bit, but if they can fizzle out to where they're still bringing in 5-10 sales a day, then to me, it's still a winner because it's on auto pilot in a sense where you just have to replenish your inventory. And my mindset has changed a little bit since I've started this business. It was at first where I wanted to find a product that could get 20 sales per day. I've since changed that to where I'm happy with 10 sales a day. It's something I call the 10 by 10 by 1, where you have 10 sales a day, $10 profit, and then $10 profit per product, that is, and then one product. And if you can do that, that's $100 profit per day, and you can multiply that over as many products as you want. It's just an easier thing to go after, and it's also setting the bar to where you can probably accomplish that, but you're probably going to be surprised when you see that all of a sudden when you start developing a product line, that 10 sale a day product is going to turn into a 15 or 20 or 30 sale per day. So that's just, again, I'm going off on a little bit of a rant there, but it's really about trends. I don't really focus too much after the fact. I look more of before the fact. All right, so I hope that's answered your question. And hey, hit me up if you do have something that can connect with an API or of something, and we can go ahead and share that, because I think that's really, really something that this market is missing. And I think it would be a huge component to be able to look at your pay-per-click in Amazon with more detail and being able to set up more micro campaigns and having it more organized so you can kind of look at the data. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this, and that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com, and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business, so definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business, and this way here you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.